I guess today I'll have the rest of the transplants put in. These are the tomatoes. I put the vegetable marrow squash up on the hill yesterday. And as I've been saying, these dry out really fast. Now I'm going to give some thoughts on my testing here, because these are the list of tomato varieties that I found during the winter that were shorter day varieties. I have Lata tomato here. I have 4, and I gave away 2, and I have a couple more in the house. So they did well both on germination and growing. It's getting some fungus on the leaves now, so when I plant them I'm going to cut off all of the leaves that's got that fungus on them, because I'll plant them right down almost all the way. 42 days and the germination was a struggle, and past that first little bit, to be honest, they're not doing too well. But you've seen the one I planted over in the beginner garden. He's doing fairly well, and we'll see now how much he grows during the summer. Furthest north, they're okay. And I have 4 here, so they're doing okay so far. Silver tree, I lost a lot. They're some of the ones that they grew up and then they like it damped off just a little bit above the soil. I have 2 healthy plants there, which is good. I'll put one in the ground and one in a 5-gallon bucket. Centennial Rocket, that's a larger tomato. I think they do okay, but I only have 2 plants here, which means I lost a lot of plants for Centennial Rocket. Beaver Lodge Slicer, the same thing. I have a stunted one and one that's doing okay here. Stupid Say tomato, I only have the one bad one, and he's not too bad. You see, they grow up, they're very nice. So I think the Stupid Say tomato is I think that's close to a slicer tomato. And that one so far is doing very well. Of course, I have the 4 Tiny Tim here, and we know the Tiny Tim is going to grow well anyway. I don't know of anybody who grew Tiny Tim outside, so that is the experiment with Tiny Tim. We're over in the west cold frame. This is the smaller one, and I have 42 days. Lata. Skip a space because this is where I'm going to try to put the one of the grapevines, and then I have Silver Tree. Should have known that by the foliage. And I didn't put one down further because I have those rows of cauliflower growing there. I have put quite a lot of compost and mulch on this area, so I can go down quite deep actually. And the soil beneath, yeah, I'm down to the soil beneath now, and that's gone soft. Small plant and not a whole lot of roots. Had to get the tie-up thing out of it. So there's actually 2 plants in this one as well. But I'm going to leave them. Worms, worms everywhere. Put a bit of water in there now. See, that was nice and dry. Got some fungus on it, so clip it off. This is the silver tree, so named because of the light, delicate foliage on it. Of course, here's the baby pumpkin that seems to be very healthy, so don't disturb that whatever I does. Once again, there's actually 2 plants in that 1 cup. See, the soil beneath here now is quite soft. I never tilled or forked this soil any at all. All I did was put cardboard down, which is completely decomposed now, and then put the mulch on top. That's fairly deep. Roots won't run out of water down there. Very good root system on it. But it was dry. I'm going to soak it just cause. Now when these get taller, I'll put stakes in, you see. There, that's that part. In the east cold frame, that's Centennial Rocket. Furthest north, Beaver Lodge Slicer, and Stupicé would it be? Yeah, Stupicé. I put the Tiny Tim down here because this will be the worst spot for wind damage, and Tiny Tim of course is the shortest of the lot, so it was the best place to put him. That portion done. I went to the nursery in Lewisport as I said I was going to do. I was hoping to get valerian, 2 different colors that I didn't have. They didn't have valerian there, and they had this here. And the way the season was going, I was thinking earlier that I should have started some watermelon and cantaloupe. But they had it there, $5 for each set. So I've got 4 cantaloupe plants here, and this one only has 3 plants. This is watermelon, so I'll put this one up in the other smaller cold frame, and this one down here against the base of the wall here to the house is the only place I have now that I expect to get ripe watermelon and cantaloupe. So that's the only place to put them. And the next step is to plant out some tomatoes in these 7 buckets I have here. Rain came on when I just started these tomatoes in the buckets yesterday, and I said forget it, they're going in. But of course I had to put the camera away, and so I did finish them. I'm thinking I'll probably just leave them on the deck like this. Nice thing about this, see, I already have the frame up, so they will be trained up on the 4 posts. And then when the cooler weather starts in September, I can wrap them in the cold nights, take them off, and then of course when it's consistently cool, I can bring them into the sunroom and let whatever tomatoes that's on them finish ripening up. I have the weakest ones left here. There's 5 left, and the tiny Tim I've put in the ground out further. You see, you remember here where I was supposed to have some parsnip grow, and I failed on that one. I only have the one little parsnip over there, and we have our 2 carrot seed plants. So I put the 2 tiny Tim there, and then I put another one over here just to see how it would do in among the herbs. So the rain has stopped long enough that the road is starting to dry. So I come out, I said I'll try to get up those 2 grapevines now. I'm going to need my big shovel, and I have my fork there in case that will come in handy. Find its base right there, go back a little bit. Let's see if we can't uproot these and transfer them down by the south side of the house. Don't think it's going to be difficult. There. Thought one of these was starting to root, but we have that one. For the most part, their roots didn't go very far, so I didn't break off that many of the root system. And now there's a second one right here. There. More grass grew up among this one. You're supposed to get about 15 to 20 millimeters of rain overnight, and of course it's cloudy now, so I will give them some extra water when I replant them. But with the weather, it is a good time to transplant things. Nicely. This is about well, I guess about 3 years old. I've had it for 2 years, and I was just a little shoot when I got it, so maybe a year old. So we'll call this a 3-year-old grapevine now. We'll put this one in the small cold frame. When I say small cold frame, this is the smaller one that's on the west side. I'm recording the temperatures, and this end of the south side of the house is consistently at least 2 degrees, if not 3 degrees higher than on the other end, what I call the big cold frame. There for that root to go in. According to my research, they said it was fine to put a grapevine close to the building, so there he is. Now, as I said, even though we're getting rain tonight, I'm still going to soak this. To give it the best possible chance of good survival. Then we'll back up. There you see, right in the middle of the frame. Now in this one, it won't be in the middle of the frame because, you see, there's the windows to the sunroom. I want it to be in the middle of that wall so that I can go equal distance and not have the branches come out across the windows of the sunroom. Now that was quick, and I want to show you something up close. So remember I mentioned that I thought two of them were rooting. Well, they haven't rooted yet, but they are in the process of doing so. So if I lay this down now and weight it down, maybe I'll take this block of wood, put there, and I guess I'll take this brick and put there. Now, these will rise up once the sun comes out and they get used to where they are. It is possible that I will have this root, and I'd have another grapevine, a rooting right here for this shoot, and I get a grapevine. And a shooting right here, and I get a grapevine. It's a few days later now. The rain is gone, replaced by hot weather. I did some mowing, as you can see. I sifted some compost and put over the rough compost that was here to make it nice and smooth. You can see the plants now. Well, the Tiny Tim, one of the watermelons. That was stupid to say. Another watermelon. He's got a flower on him. They had flowers on when I got them. Now that's a male flower. It'll be a bit before he starts putting out female flowers. The tomatoes are putting out flowers now. Cucumber is doing nice. That watermelon in there has got a ways to go. Now it was a little bit of a transplant shock. Some of the leaves wilted, and this one, both leaves wilted, hasn't come back. It was about to put out some flowers to do grapes, so I don't know if it'll come back or not. This one here, he has come back, and that one there is alive. Now they might bear grapes this year because they did bear a few last year. And while I was mowing, I did do some mulching, and so up this end I have it mulched, and the cantaloupe plant I got, he's just doing just fine, and he opened that flower wide up. Here's the first open tomato flower on the silver fir tree plant. And all looking good. Now with respect to the tomatoes in the 5-gallon buckets, I have one over there by the little shed. What I did, I spaced them out 10 feet apart, because 10 feet is the isolation distance for tomatoes. And I have one there, one here, one here, and then the two together in there, they're both Tupaceae, so they're the same variety, spaced out at least 10 feet apart, and then I can save from those plants, I can save seed. And we've got things planted. Next step is to deal with the trees, I guess. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you in the next one.